Hey, it's Jason from Pro Guitar Studio. Today's lesson is going to be all about 6/8 time. Now, if you don't know what this is, just take a listen to the piece we're going to learn, and I'll be right back in a minute to explain what it's all about. All right, so now that we heard the piece of music we're going to work from, I'll talk a bit about 6/8 time. So you might not know what 6/8 time is, and essentially what we're doing here is we're counting 6/8 notes. And if you looked at it, you might wonder, why isn't it 3/4 time? So in 3/4 time, we have 3/4 notes. And in the end, yeah, we do have 6/8 notes in that measure too. But if we count it out, 3/4 time is like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, traditionally, right? So it's like a waltz. So the 2 and 3 have a heavy hit, whereas 1 is typically going to be not as hard. In 6/8 time, we have the 6/8 notes. We're going to have an accent on the first eighth note and the fourth. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And usually the fourth is even heavier. So it's like beat 1 is the kick drum, beat 4 is the snare drum. Or both kick and snare on beat 4. So if you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 versus 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So there's a lot of fun to be had in 6/8 time, and I think to me I play with 6/8 time a lot more than I play with 3/4 time. So let's just dive right in and talk about this and get the strumming going. And so in this song I actually have a 16th note swing feel. So it might feel a little weird to get used to, but we're going to talk about some pretty standard open chords, some that you might not have learned yet, or there's one in there that you might not have learned before, but it is all over the place, so it's a great thing to actually practice and get used to. But let's talk about the first chord, so a G. So I did a 4-finger G, 3rd fret string 6, 2nd fret string 5, and then we have the 3rd fret and string 1 and 2, right? And the strumming pattern I'm doing here is down, down, up, down, up. And you'll notice when I'm doing the down, up, the up strums are delayed a little bit because we do have that swing feel on the 16th notes. Down, down, up, down, okay? Now we're going to transition to a D chord, and so our ring finger stays exactly where it is, and that's the beauty with the 4-finger G. The ring finger is there for the D chord, middle finger 2nd fret string 1, and index finger 2nd fret string 3. Same pattern here, but only the thinnest 4 strings. You'll see I'm muting with my thumb on string 6. Just to make it easier, I can hit, if you wanted to hit the 5th string, it still sounds really nice, and often I do for the D chord. So like, the next chord is an A sus4. So when you see me play it, I actually bar with my first finger, 2nd fret string 4, 2nd fret string 3, and then the ring finger is still where it was on string number 2, 3rd fret. But you can also play with the index and middle. So whatever way works for you. I just do this because I tend to bar my A chord anyway. So it's going to resolve back to the A. But you could do, so you bring your ring finger back for the A chord, right? So same pattern, down, down, up, down, up. Then the A chord, down, down, up, down, up. Or the way I play it. All right, so for the time feel, if I was to count through it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the 4 to me has a stronger feel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm trying to hit a little bit harder on beat number 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's your heavy hit. And so that'll give you the feel for 6/8 time. There's a lot of songs that use this, a lot of songs that are arpeggiated, you know, like a ballad. If you think of Everybody Hurts from REM. That pattern is in 6/8 time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So many more examples I won't get into right now. But we have the G, D, A sus4 back to A. Okay, that's our first selection here. So our first part 3 times in a row. Now from there, going into the second part, we're going to have our E minor chord. Same rhythm. The second chord is called a D over F sharp. Now if you feel weird about what I'm going to talk about here, and just doesn't feel normal to you, you can play a D chord. Okay, so the D over F sharp takes the D chord and takes this F sharp in the first string, and we move it now to string number 6 instead, just as an easy way to think about it. So instead of playing this, I go up like this. So 2nd fret string 6, 2nd fret string 3, and then the ring finger, 3rd fret string number 2. And you can leave the 5th and 4th open. Often I end up muting out the 5th string. Now another way to do it as well, a lot of players will do this, to play a D chord, and the thumb will handle the 2nd fret on string number 6. So that's, you know, more comfortable for you. Go for it. But I'm going to do it this other way. Alright, then the G chord. Then we're going to go to an A sus4 with 2 strums, 2 down strums. And then back to A. So that's 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. So nice accent there. And so we'll do that twice in a row. Okay, so D or F sharp, that's the chord. If you don't know it, great one to know. A ton of songs have this in it. Even, for example, the 2nd chord in Freebird is D over F sharp. Okay, so whatever we want to play it, this way or that way. So after we play this twice, we're going to go to a D chord, G chord, and then D, D, G, D. All down strums. So we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. We end on the 4. Okay, let that ring out. And so that's our second part, right? So E minor, D, F sharp, G to A sus4, back to A. That's going to be twice in a row, and then the final part, D, G, D, 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 D. And that finishes off our rhythm. So this is a great exercise for you to work with to practice your 6/8 time feel. You can also just go, if you felt weird about doing the up strums, it didn't come quickly enough for you. If you feel like you really need to work on it, what I would try to do is to get the feel. So think of the chords: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. So get all the down strums in first, okay? So that'll be the strumming portion. Now, for those of you into the lead guitar, I'll show you the melody I played on top. So I'm starting on the 4th fret, string number 3. 2nd fret, string number 3 as well. So B, A, and then I do a pull off 2nd fret, string 3, to the 4th fret, string number 4, to the 2nd fret, string 4 there. So A, G, F sharp, E. Okay? Open D, so the open 4th string. And then we're going to play 4, 2, 0 on the 5th string. C sharp, B, A. Second time around, same idea, but we're going to add one more note between the 1st and 2nd note. 7th fret, string number 3. You can use your ring finger. I think I just often will go with my 1st finger just to give a nice slide. And this time when we come down, our phrase we stop on the C sharp on the 4th fret of string 5 instead of going 2-0. We're just going to stop there. Then we repeat our first phrase again. Okay, now the second part comes in. 4th fret, so B on string number 3. 2nd fret, which is A, to the open G. And then on string number 4, 4, 2, 0. So F sharp, E, D. And then we're going to play a D again to C sharp. And that D there just hits on when we're going to play the sus chord, okay? Second time around, we do the same note added in again. So the 7th fret, string 3, which I should have mentioned before, is a D. Instead of going down to the C sharp, we're going to go 4, 2, 0 on string 4 to the 2nd fret, string 4. So F sharp, E, D, E. All right, so that phrase only happens twice. So we have this, or that progression anyways. We have and then we're going to go to our end part, which was the G chord, so the D chord. So the 4th fret string 4 and the 2nd fret string number 3 together. Right, so that's F sharp and A, part of the D chord. And then when it goes to the G chord, we're playing the open G and open D string. Then we're going to play the same 2 notes again, F sharp and A. Go up to the 5th fret on string 4 and 4th fret on string number 3. Back to F sharp and A. And that's so this right here is part of the D chord, F sharp and A, and then the G and B is part of the G chord. And then back to F sharp and A for the D. And same with these 2 notes that I played second. The open 4th and open 3rd string, the D and the G, those are from the G chord as well. All right, so all the phrases together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So as you listen through that, you should be able to hear those chords changing because of the notes and how they relate with the chord. So if you are up for it, try to look at the chords and figure out the notes that I'm playing on top. How does it work? Like, what part of the chord am I playing, and why do those notes work so well? And if you start to explore those kind of questions and figure those out for yourself, as opposed to someone telling you, I mean, I could tell you those answers, but this is a really great exercise for you to explore and try to figure those out. If you can manage to do that and figure out, why does this sound good? For example, why does a B note sound good on a G chord? And so figuring out where those land and which chord it lands on. All students here have access to the full PDF and audio for this, so you can actually look at the PDF and see which chord lines up with which note, and from there try to decipher why those notes sound good. And so as you start to analyze that, you'll start to understand that basically everything we're playing, I'll just give you like the short form of it. The notes that sound good are in the chord, okay? So they're chord tones. The notes that are passing tones are notes that don't sound so good, but in context they sound great, because music with just notes that sound good, not so fun, right? So everything is all a balance of, we'll say, notes that sound really nice and notes that sound off, or notes that sound dissonant. And those things together create tension and release that sounds really, really nice. So have some fun with this. Any questions, let me know. But if you like this lesson, subscribe, because there's more lessons every single week. And definitely hit that like button if you can. Bye.